Okay, so we will continue working on these problems. We are at number 27. As you can see, they're asking for the equation of the ellipse. Again, you should know this by now. The equation of the ellipse is x minus h squared a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared, then this is equal to 1. Okay, so again, we have to identify whether is a vertical major axis or if it's a minor axis. So the main thing I have to do is check my foci, and here my foci is -8 and -8. That implies that like in the y direction nothing is changing, but in the x direction something is changing. That implies that, and remember the foci follows the vertices, therefore I know that this is a horizontal axis. Now if you think about the distance from, I mean, you can graph this if you're confused. So let's do that. So -3 and -8 is around here somewhere, and -9, so that's all the way to the left. -9 and -8, it's around here. So this point is here, this point is here, and that's the foci. So therefore, we should know by definition that these points somewhere here are going to be your vertices. Therefore, the graph of your ellipse should be something like that. Okay, I know it's not perfect, but I'm just trying to give you a brief idea what to do. Now that you know that this is horizontal, we need this equation that I have here, right? Now, we need to find out what's the value of C, what is the value of B, what is the value of A. I mean, here they give me C. I told you before, right? I labeled this as C's and I'm labeled this as B's because these are co-vertices. Now, what is the distance from -3 to -8? So that distance is 5 units. I'm sorry, it's 6 units. So that implies that 2C equals 6 units. So I divide by 2 and I get C equals to 3. That implies that C squared equals to 9. I'm done with C. Now I need to find out what's B. Again, look at these guys. These numbers on the x coordinate, they're not moving, they're fixed. That means what's changing here? The y values. So what is the distance from -4 to -12? Well, that's 8. So that implies that 2b equals to 8. And if I divide by 2, I get b equals to 4. And therefore, this is, if I want to find out what's b squared, this is 16. Okay, so I have b squared, I have c squared. Now I can find out what's a squared really easily. So if I do, I'm sorry, I don't have enough room, so I'm gonna try to do anywhere where I can, when I can. A squared equals b squared plus c squared, and I have what? What's a squared? A squared, well, that's what I'm looking for. B squared and c squared are 9 and 16 respectively. So this is 9 and this is 16 respectively. Well, I mean, addition is commutative, so it doesn't matter. So this implies that this is a squared equals 25. And I have my a value, I have my b value, and that's what I need for my equation. I need to find out what's the center. So the center is very easy in this problem. Well, I can take a look at the foci, for example, and I see that the y values are fixed, so I can put that right away. And then I can use, I need to find out the midpoint between -9 and -3 and -9, which is -6. So this is my my x, my h, and this is my k here. So now I can write the equation. So the final answer for this problem is x minus h, which is minus minus, so that's plus 6 square. And I found my value of a already, which is 25, plus y minus, what's k? K is minus 8, so it's minus minus, so that's plus square over, what's b squared? B squared, it was 16, and this is equal to 1, and I'm done. That's the answer for this problem. So as you can see, it's not difficult. It's very easy. I'm not gonna waste too much time talking like I always do. I'm gonna go straight to the problems. So this is the answer for these numbers. So let me erase this stuff that we don't need anymore so we can do the next problem. So that was number 27. Now let's do number 28. Let's do that really quick. Okay, So again, same concept. These are my C's. This is the major axis. So these are my A's. Okay. When they're saying major axis, these are A's. And then when they're saying co-vertices, these are B's. Sometimes they say minor axis as well. So be careful with that. So for this problem, I have my C's, I have my A's. So I have to see what's fixed. So this is fixed, right? And then I need to find out, well, we, well, here they give me the major axis. So we can graph that right away. So let's graph this and let's see what we get. So 0, 15. So 0, 15 is here somewhere. So 0, 15, that point is here. Let's put that in green. 0, 15, and 0, 5 is about here somewhere. So 0, 5 is here. So this is 0, 5, and this is 5. Not look like something else. It's 0, 5. Now, what we need to do is we need to find out what's the center, right? But they're telling you that these are the endpoints of the major axis. So you have an idea already what's going on. So the parabola should look like this. Okay? So that's your, I'm sorry, not a parabola, the ellipse. It should look like that, right? And now they give you the foci. You know, by definition, the foci, they must be inside the ellipse. So that will be here, one, and then another one will be here. So you can call this F1, F2 if you want. F stands for focus. Okay? Now, we need to find out the center. So what's the center here? The center is just the midpoint of your major axis if you want to use the A values. So as you can see, this is fixed. So this is 0. And what is the midpoint between 15 and 5? That would be 10. So I'm done with that. I have the center already. I need to find the values of A's. Now, if you think about A, nothing is changing in the x-axis, but in the y-axis here, something is happening. So what is the distance from 5 to 15? That would be 10. So that means that 2a equals 10. And then if I need to solve for a, we divide by 2, a equals 5. Therefore, a squared equals 25. And now I need to find out what's the value of c. So the value of c is this part. So the value of c will be what? Well, what is the distance from 7 to 13? That's 6. So 6c equals, I'm sorry, 2c. 2c equals 6 divided by 2, you get 3. So c equals 3, and if you square that, you get 9. Okay, so I have my c squared, I have my a squared, so I can find out what's my b squared, which I need. So this is a ellipse, so a squared equals b squared plus c squared. So what is a squared? A squared is 25. What is b squared? That's what I'm looking for. C squared is 9. If you subtract, you get 16 equals b squared. So that's what I need. I don't need to solve for b because I need b squared. Now I know it's vertical major axis, right? So I need my equation y minus k squared plus x minus h squared equals to 1. This always, this is a squared in this case because this is the major axis, and this is b squared. And just, we need to plug it in, right? So y, so this is y minus, what's k? Well, k, we said, what is my hk? Here are my hk. My y minus k, y minus 10 squared plus x minus what? 0, right? So I can just write as x squared, this value. So this is the same as x squared equals 1, and this is divided by, what's the value of a squared is 25, and b squared is 16. And I'm done. That's the answer for this problem. I hope you understand. Let's move to the next problem. With too much talking, let's do work. Too much talking sometimes. Okay, the next problem. So here they're asking you, I'm gonna try to make it as big as I can. So this is number 29. So they give you the foci right away, that's C's, and then they give you the endpoints of the minor axis. So minor axis refers to what? The B's. Minor axis means the B's, okay? So the B's. So we can find out right away what's the center. If we look at the foci, right? Well, what's fixed? The -6 is fixed, so that's not changing. So only the, what is the number? The 4 and the -6 is changing. So what is the distance or what is the midpoint between -6 and 4? Well, you think about it, right? What about, let's say, if you have two, let's say, for instance, like you just take a guess. So the distance from, I'm sorry, the distance should be 10. So you should be at -1. So the distance from -1 to 4 is 5 units. And the distance from -1 to -6 is also 5 units, right? Because if you think about it, -6 is here, and then let's say 4 is here. The distance from -6 to -1 is 5 units, and the distance from -1 to 4 is also 5 units. So that means that's the value that you need. So this is -1. Okay, so we have that. Now we can find out we have the center. We can find out what's the C value in here. So what is the C value here? So we know that 2C should be equal to the distance from -6 to 4, which is 10. So if we solve for C, we get 5. And if we square that value, we get 25. Same thing applies for the B's. What's fixed? The ones are fixed. Now, what about this number? This number is 6 to -18, right? So what's the distance from there from -18 to 6? Is 24. So that means that this is 2b equals to 24 and b equals 12, which implies that b squared equals 144. And we found the b squared. Now we need to find the a squared for our equation. So the a squared equals b squared plus c squared. The a squared I'm looking for, the b squared is 144, the c squared is 25, so this is 169. Agree? So that should be your a squared value. So we can, now we need to find out if this is vertical or horizontal. Remember, the foci follows the vertices. Therefore, here I have no change in the x values, but I have a change in the y values. That means that this is vertical. So that means that this is y minus k squared plus x minus h squared equals to 1. This is a squared. This is b squared. Now let's plug it in, and we're done with this problem. So this is y minus what's k? K is a. This is hk. It's right above me. I didn't see it. Hk is minus minus, so that's a plus. Square. What's a squared? A squared is 169. What's b? X minus h, so it's plus 6 square over b squared. B squared is 144, and this is equal to 1, and I'm done. That's the answer. Okay. Next. So that was number 29. 30. Let me erase some of this stuff really quick so that it doesn't confuse you. So number 30. Same thing. The center is what? HK. So this is HK. And then we have the vertex, that's my A's, and I have my C's here. So I need to, the only thing I need to find out is what equation should I use. So look at the things that, well, in this case, they just give me one of each, right? But I mean, you can just, you can graph, right? So in this problem, actually, you don't need to do all that. Look. So here we have the center. So if we look at the center, these y values are not changing. If you see that, these y values for all the three of them are not changing. So the only thing is changing is the x values, right? So what I need to do is, if this is my center, right, and this is one of my vertices, so I know right away that the distance from the center to the vertex is a, right? So I know the distance from the center to the vertex is a, so that means that a should be equal to 5. And if I want to find out, I'm gonna show you, because this might be a little bit confusing at some point. Let me draw this picture for you. So I have the vertex at 85. So this is 85. So this is my point here. And then I have, let me put that in green. So I have -10 and -10 for x and -5 for y. So that's here. -10 is around here somewhere. And then this is 5 here. So this is my a value, right? And my focus is, they're saying is -2. So that's -2 here, maybe here, -2 and -5. Okay, so I know that this is what's happening. Yeah, as you can see, the distance from this is just in case, this is the 85, 95 is my center, right? And this is my vertex, and this is my focus. So this guy is my focus. Now, what's happening here is I need to find out what's the value of a, which I already found. So you know that a squared should be equal to 25. So the only thing we need to find out is what's b value, and we're done. So we need to find out how can we do that. So we have the focus -2 over -5. Now we need to find out what is, well, we're at the center, right? So if you think about it, if you're at the center and you need to find out what's your C value, you know that the distance from the center to your C value should be just C distance, right? So C should be equal to, well, from your, if you are at your, if you are at your center and you need to find out what is the, what is the C value, then you can tell what's going on right away. So if you're at -2 and then the center is a -5, that implies that C must be 3 units. So that means that C squared is 9. Now you can use the information to find what's B squared. So B squared, and we already know that this is horizontal, right? So let me write that down for you. So we know that this is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals 1. This is A, and this is B. And we know that x minus h, so it's plus 5 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals to 1. My A value, we said that it was, I don't have that, right? I don't have that. I do. It's 25. 25. And then my B value is, let's see, we need to find out what's the B value, right? So we need to find out what's the B value. So that's easy. A squared equals B squared plus C squared. Do I have A squared? Yes, 25. B squared is what I'm looking for, and C squared is 9. So if you subtract that, you get 16. 16 is a B squared. So this is 16, and I'm done. That's the only thing you have to do. You could do this mentally, but I'm just doing like to make sure that everybody get it, not just this. Well, I'm not going to say smart because everybody's smart, but I mean, everybody can handle these kind of problems. Okay. Okay. So that's the answer. Next problem. So here they ask it there. I mean, it's pretty similar to the previous problem. Let me erase this stuff. Uh, it's pretty similar to the previous problem, but you have to use a little bit of thinking sometimes. So this is HK again. This is they give you again one vertex. So this is 4, 1, -1, and this is your value of A, remember, and this is your value of B in this case, right? So now if you're at the center, right, look at this. This is fixed, right? So the distance from, so this doesn't count. So the distance from 85 from the center to one vertex is 9 units. So that means that A, right, because this is just one vertex, not the vertices, this is just one. From 85 to 4, there's 9 units, right? So that implies that A squared is 81. Simple as that. Think about this. If you're at the center, right? If you're at the center, -5, -1. So -5, -1 is here. That's here. And then the other point is 4, -1. So that's here. The distance from here to here, it's 9 units. So that's how I get A equals 9. And then if you do that, you get A squared equals 81. So now you have the A value, you have the center. The only thing you need to find out is the B value, and you're done. So how can we find out the B values? Well, if you have the center -5, -1, which is here, let me put that in different color. So if I'm here, and I need to find out, they're saying the co-vertex. So that's gonna be, we already know that this thing is gonna be a horizontal line, and because this is the vertex, so if the vertex is in that horizontal direction, it means that it's gonna be like an ellipse. Pretty much, let me see, 85, 91, and this is one vertices, right? So this is gonna be, from here to here. So something like that. And what I need to do is I need to find out what's my I need to find out my b value, like I said before. Now the b values are this distance from here to here, this distance. So these are my b values. So this is easy to find. Let me make a clear picture to you because this is very messy. Okay, so this is what I mean. Um, this is what you have. -5, -5, -1 is here. -5, -1 is here. So let's put that in red. So this is this point here. And then we have to do 4, -1. So 4 is here and -1 is here. Okay, so 4, -1 is around here somewhere. So we said that this is the distance from here to here is A. So what is the distance? 9 units, right? So from here to here is 9 units. So if I want to find out what is the other vertex located at, I need to add 5 units to the -5. So I'm gonna end it up at -14. That's what it means. So this is -14 and this is right here. So if I want to graph my ellipse, it should be something like this, right? That's what I have. And now if I want to find out what's that b value here, like this value here, if I want to find out what that is, I need to, so basically I'm at the center here, -5, -1, and I need to find out what's the co-vertex, right? So if they're saying here the co-vertex is a -5, 0. So that means that point is right here, -5, 0. So what's the length of B? Well, you just went 1 unit up, right? Because you were at -5, -1. So you just went 1 unit up. So that means that your length, look at this one, if you're confused, from 0 to 1, right? So that means that B equals to 1. So B squared is 1 anyway. So that's it. That's the end of the problem. So we need to write the equation. This is horizontal shift. So this is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to 1. A is on the bottom, B is on the bottom, and just replace and substitute and you're done. So this is x plus 5 squared over, what's the value of A? 81 plus y minus k, so it's y plus 1 squared, and then this is b squared, which is just 1, and this is 1. You're done. So just to verify my answer, let me check my solution, and let's see if I have the same number as they have, or the same equation as they have. So let's see if I have that. What number it was? 31. Indeed, it's the same. Okay. I'm gonna do 2 more. Yeah, I'm gonna do the last one here, and then I will maybe record another time or another day. Here, the center is what? The center is HK. The vertex is A values, right? And I'm gonna put A values, and then my C squared. They give me C squared, so this is pretty easy to tell. What's the vertex? Well, the distance from the center to one vertex is the value of A. So this is fixed, as you can see. Then the only thing is changing is these two. So what is it? What is the distance from -6 to -11? That's 5. Agree? So then I know that A equals 5, so A squared equals 25. Then I will do my formula. So this is A squared equals B squared plus C squared. A squared is 25. B squared, I don't know what it is, and C squared is what I have here. They give me that. So that means that B squared equals 9. So that means that if I need to find out the equation, and I'm done. And now the question is this is vertical or horizontal shift? Well, they told me that this is the vertex, this point, right? So that's my A value. So if I want to find out if it's vertical or horizontal, I draw my picture. If I'm confused, so if I draw my picture, I get 10 and 86. So that's 10 here, and 86 is around here somewhere. And that's here. And then I get 10 and -11. So 10, -11, that would be a little bit below here. So that's here. And this point is here. So that implies that, I mean, you could just tell, right? Like the y is changing. So that must be a vertical axis, right? A vertical change in the y axis. And okay, so since we know that, so we need y minus k squared plus x minus h squared equals to 1. This is A squared, this is B squared, and then let's plug it in. So y minus k. So y minus minus is a plus 6 square plus x minus 10 squared equals to 1. A squared was 25, and b squared again is 9. So that's what we have. So let's see what's going on with the answer there. Let's see, 32. 32 is x minus 10 squared over 9 plus y plus 6 over 25, and that's equal to 1. That indeed is right. Okay, so that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna keep doing more problems maybe later tonight, and I hope you have a nice night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye bye.